And Sam, our Sammy, has got some news to share with our family of listeners this morning.
Yes. Most people listening to this show would know that the past year for us as a show has been pretty eventful. Lana's had a lot go on with her. Gary had a hip replacement.
Yeah, it doesn't figure too much. So I forget that one. It's not important compared to other things that happened.
And obviously everything that happened with Simon and Jodie's battle. But behind the scenes, for me, I've had my own thing, going on. And I've had to kind of wrap my head around this thing that kind of came out of nowhere for me. And that thing is that I was diagnosed just over 2 years ago.
You're okay, hon.
All right, take
Yeah,
your time.
It's a big thing to say out loud to everyone. That I have multiple sclerosis, otherwise known as MS. And it's something I've kind of been dealing with behind the scenes for the past 2 years, trying to get my head around it and figure out what that means for me in my life. And it's kind of something I felt like I've had to lie about in a way to people, because I kind of can't do everything, and I feel like I have to make up these kind of false excuses, but I can't just be honest about it. And I was watching the Oscars the other day, and Selma Blair was there, and she has recently announced that she has MS. And she was standing on this, red carpet in the middle of a relapse with her voice in spasm and half of her body really weak. And I kind of just looked at her and I felt like, oh my God, look at her. She's just owning it. She's just saying, yes, this is what I have. It doesn't define me. And I just felt like she looked really free. And it just inspired me for me to want to feel that way too. I don't want to feel like I'm kind of holding something back. You guys know what I'm like. I tell everyone anything. And I feel like I've kind of kept this big thing to myself, and it's been weighing me down, and I just want to let it go.
Good on you. And that's very, very, very brave what you've just done. And you can tell by the way that you're speaking. And that's something that we've known about for a wee while behind the scenes. And you're right. It's one of those things that you've had to hide for a wee while. This must be a really liberating moment for you now.
Yeah, because you guys know, my family knows and my close friends know, but the whole rest of the workplace doesn't know. My softball team doesn't know. Heaps of people in my life have no idea. And so it's hard when I'm always feeling tired, or if I get sick a lot, or if I'm having a bad day, that I kind of feel like I've got to hide that even more.
It's been something too, because with being so young, I guess, and feeling tired and not wanting to say why. Now, like you say, you can actually, you're able to, people know that you have this now. So you've freed yourself up the way, and you're able to live your life the way you can live your life, and you should be able to live your life.
So people that don't know what multiple sclerosis is, what in a nutshell, what does it do? How does it affect you?
Basically, my immune system's so good, it's so overactive that it starts attacking my central nervous system. So basically, you've all got nerves, there's a coating around the nerves. My immune system starts attacking those nerves when it shouldn't, and it leaves what's left behind as damage or a scar. Multiple sclerosis means multiple scars. Right. And so,
Okay. Is it unusual for someone to be like, how old are you now?
So I'm 28. No, it's not unusual for this age. It's the prime of your life that you get it, usually between 20 and 40.
Is that right?
Most likely females. Some men get it, but they tend to get a more aggressive form, but not as many get it. I basically found out that I had it because one morning I woke up and literally from the waist down, it was numb and tingly, and my legs and stuff, and they just felt so weird. And then
scared, what's going on, right?
I was terrified, because think of where you, if you're sitting on a horse, okay, and you're sitting on a saddle, every part that the saddle touches your body, for me, when that happened, was completely numb, paralyzed numb. And so I would go to the toilet and I wouldn't even be able to tell that I was peeing until I could hear it, because I just couldn't feel anything. And it just scared the out of me. I just was terrified. I had no idea what it meant, and then ended up having an MRI, and they said, there might be something here, come back in a year. Came back, and it was no, you definitely have MS. And I remember when my neurologist phoned me and she said, it's multiple sclerosis. It just felt like someone had kicked me in the guts, like just taken all the control away from my life.
And I guess over, so that was 2 years ago. Over
Yeah.
the two, you've had a chance to think of really how that does affect you.
Yeah.
And geez, you've done well. I've been to concerts and stuff with Sammy in the blistering heat, and the heat affects you, right?
Yeah.
And she's had to go home, and luckily because we knew what was going on, she could. But again, it goes back to that whole thing where people don't know what you're going through. You know, it can be hard to explain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is so many messages of love coming through on the text machine. We've hidden it
Yeah.
from you purposely so you don't get distracted during this time, right? But
Yeah.
just to share a couple, we're going to play some ads shortly, but we'll come back. But a couple here that say, Sammy, what a brave woman you are. Thank you for sharing. We all love you and are cheering you on through this. Kia kaha, that's from Anna in Wellington. Oh, Sam, I don't know what to say, but just stay strong. Do you find that too when you tell people they don't really know what to say back?
Yeah, they don't, because I think for them they don't know what MS is. And like for me, when I found out, the only person I knew that had MS was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So like automatically you go worst case scenario and you don't understand it. So it's hard for people to know what to say when they don't know what it is.
Dale's text through, oh, Sammy, you're a brave, brave girl. Good on you for telling your story. Good things will always come your way. You are stronger than you think, and you got this. You're such an inspiration to many. All this will probably set you off. Oh, my God, I'm a 52-year-old man. I'm sitting in the car crying. You hold in there, Sammy. Cheers from Mike.
So
and
nice.
there's so many nice things.
Yeah, and I really wanted to do this, one, to get it off my own chest, but two, like after watching Selma Blair at the Oscars and how she made me feel, I kind of wanted to maybe try and give that to someone else, like maybe listening, like anyone that has MS or an autoimmune disease or chronic illness, like, I see you, like I'm here too, like we can do this.